Hey everyone, my name is Daniel. This is my 4A-GE that's currently in my AE82 sedan that was obviously initially carbureted out of the factory. It had a 4AC engine in it originally, but as a fair warning, I'd like to say this should be just a temporary setup for you, because when you run a fixed ignition setup in a engine that requires a more variable ignition, you're liable to wash your cylinder walls with fuel. So you don't want that. Over time, it's going to shorten your engine's lifespan. But this is just so that you can run it and drive it temporarily. You're going to need to change your oil quite frequently because there's going to be gas that's unburned that's going to be dumping into the cylinder walls and ending up in your oil pan. So just be mindful of that. You're going to need to change your oil every 1,000 miles or so, I would say, just as a precaution. But this isn't a permanent setup. I'd like to get a standalone ECU in here sometime soon, but this is for testing out if your engine is good enough for you to invest more in a standalone ECU. But let's get into it. So you got your distributor here. This is a new distributor. I'd recommend at least getting a new cap on your distributor because it's cheap, but I would just go with a new distributor altogether anyways. You just want to make sure that this is on timing. I'll splice in a clip here so that you know what I'm talking about, but you have to get the divot on this gear aligned with the divot on the exhaust cam.
With number one, I don't know if you guys can see that. So number one's there, runs down in the back of there. It's going to be, I don't know if you can see that one there. And we're just going to make sure that's lined up with that. And usually on some of the big port models, there's a detent, a little spot there, and it corresponds, but this is a small port. It's a little different, but we'll get there anyway.
Alright, cool, let's do it. Oh, there it is. Alright, there's a little notch on that cam lobe. That's an indicator that the cams are in the right position. True?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, it's another way of telling if you're at top dead center on cylinder one.
Alright, so we're on the right track.
Okay, now that you got your distributor set up, all you do is you plug it into your ignition coil, and you obviously plug in the other wires to your spark plugs. Should be just standard practice. And then let's move over to the most important part of the video, which is the HEI module. And how you install it is you take a wire brush to the back side of this. You're going to want a heat sink plate. You put a little bit of heat paste, like you can get it at Best Buy or any computer store for CPUs and stuff. You just put some on the backing plate on the heat sink, and you sandwich it up with the HEI module, and you just basically run some screws in to your grounded area. That's how I did it, and it was pretty simple. So this is a GM General Motors HEI module. This is going to ensure that you have spark. HEI stands for high energy ignition. This particular module, I'll splice in a picture of the Amazon page, the Amazon listing for this particular module. It's like $15. It's really not a bad price. You're going to end up spending a lot less than Summit Racing or ordering this from a GM vehicle. I mean, if you can find one in working order at a junkyard from an old GM car, go ahead and do it. But I would get this new one. This is not sponsored, but I just recommend it. It's very cheap and fast shipping. But this is how I wired it. Have a switched 12-volt source going into my distributor. I just spliced this in to my wiring harness. That's the yellow wire right there that goes all the way out there. It's a fuse tap right here, and it should be the 10 amp engine fuse. That's a switch 12 volt source. So you're gonna always wanna run that to your ignition coil. All right, I got my flash on here so that you can see. B and C. So your B cable is gonna be that black one that connects to your positive terminal. And your C cable is gonna be that yellow one that connects to the negative terminal on your coil. This is just a regular 4A-GE coil off of an MR2, I believe. Just as a side note. So then you got these two that attach to your distributor. By the way, I will be putting a wiring diagram up on the screen now. All right, so you've seen the wiring. I'll just show you, just for the hell of it, how this hooks up to the distributor. On your distributor, you have this little pigtail right here. That one doesn't really matter. Your other one with your red and white wire, you're gonna wanna cut that and splice some more wire in. So I got that running out here. And I didn't have a red wire, so I used a blue one, but that blue one connects to the red one that comes out of the distributor. So you got G and W. G should be your red wire out of your distributor, and W, easy to remember, W corresponds to the white one. But yeah, that's it. That's how you hook up GM HEI module ignition for a temporary ignition solution for your carbureted 4A-GE. I really hope that this could be helpful, and the reason why I made this video is to share this information with as many people as possible who are in the same spot as I was looking for this information. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will be putting up more videos soon about my AE82 4A-GE swap setup and more how-tos. If you have any requests on how to do anything with this kind of setup, any questions, just don't hesitate to comment, and I will try to answer and possibly make a video if possible. Thank you.